I learned a long time ago, especially when it comes down to narcissism. It's like when you go through the most painful situation alone, right? And then you find yourself going to a person that you believe that's going to help you. But the thing about it, especially with covert narcissists, they tend to be the ones who initiated the issue just for you to come to them so it can be laid out a certain way to have two people against each other. I'm not doing that shit. Period. I work too hard to try to get one person to see a certain thing about me and who I am as a person, just for a whole bunch of other people to involve themselves that has nothing to do with my personal life. No ma'am, no girl. No boy, no man. No. I'm not your easy target. You're either gonna be there for your folks or be there for your people who you supposedly stand, instead of just trying to go behind the scenes and do little stuff. Instead of just doing that, just be straight up and be there for your people. That's simple. If you genuine. People put too much energy, and I had to learn it too. I spent so much time trying to help, trying to make people laugh, try to see things from a higher perspective. And you know what the whole time they were doing? They were getting mad because the plan was to have control over me, to have some type of power over me. That's all this was about. That's all this is about. Let me tell you something, and I'm gonna be straight up and down with whoever listening to this. I'm just gonna be real with you. Ain't no way in the world I'm gonna put my life in the hands of somebody else who didn't even try to hold my hand when I was going through shit. I'll be damned. And they come, and it's so crazy because they come up. They don't come no other time but when you down and out. Or when they down and out. They didn't give a fuck about you. They just needed a little bit of fire so they can start a motherfucking forest fire with their shit. And it's crazy because they'll take your trauma next to somebody else's trauma and create a bigger, large trauma because they fucking traumatized, because they going through something and they don't want to admit that they're going through that type of thing on their own. But then they're going to use your sadness, your pain, and what you experience as a catalyst to go against somebody else who went through the similar things. Especially when they reached out to you and you didn't believe them. But you'll believe a person that didn't even help their own people? The next time somebody come to you and say, they said, hey, let me help you, ask them where they from. And then you ask them, what non-profitable organization have you actually provided for your people before you help me? And if they ain't have none, what do you think they gonna take you to? Absolutely nothing. Especially if you find yourself being the only person being in some stuff, man. Let me tell you something. I'm traumatized too. I don't look like it. Some days I might, but for the most part, I don't act like it. But in a way, you can still see I'm tough as nails. Because I choose not to be a victim. Weak people look for victims. They don't never look for nobody strong. You be blessed. And to the one who want, nah. Let's see. Bye. I'm done.